Grand Rising family. Listen to a little Yada Yada 7 real fast. Give everybody a chance to get notified. Just for a couple minutes before we get started. We're living in some amazing times, family. Thank you to the moderators that are here. I appreciate you. Can always count on you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Great seeing you, Sister Cassandra. Great seeing you, Didiya. Great seeing everyone. Shalom, family. Great seeing so many people here already. I'm going to stop the music here real quick because I want to get started real fast, family. I don't have a whole lot of time this morning. Let me go ahead and get started real fast, family, because I was watching this video yesterday, Tucker Carlson talking about war with Iran. I think he has some general or, they usually have their guys that they're interviewing. And the dude was just painting a very dark picture for Ish and the United States. And just talking about, I think it had like a little thing with Lindsey Graham talking about how he was ready to authorize military action against Iran. And this general is pretty much saying like, hey, man, I don't think you guys are really ready for this. I don't think the world is ready. I don't think these Americans here understand what's about to happen. That we are not that superpower that everyone thinks that we are. And that's what this general was talking about pretty much. He was saying that they sent in some special forces with Ish and the United States. They sent some special forces in to kind of survey the area, get everything kind of prepped and everything else. And then a lot of those special forces took heavy casualties. They got all shot up. You know what I'm saying? So they were talking about, we don't have the weapons, the ammunition that we sent most of it over to the Ukraine. He says we only had like 450,000 troops. We don't really have an army. He says a lot of them are already over there in Europe, in the Ukrainian theater. You see what I'm saying? And they were talking about pretty much how Iran really has sophisticated missiles. They have sophisticated weapons. And that they're like, well, we've supposedly had been putting sanctions on them, but they said the sanctions really affect the people. They don't affect the regime, and they don't stop them from being able to actually like develop their weapons and things like that. And plus, their allies could help them. I said there's always ways around stuff, but this is just a confirmation, okay, that they're blessing. I mean, you're sitting there listening to this guy breaking all these things down. He's like, hey, man, they got cells here. They got, our borders have been open. They've been allowing every and anyone to come over here. So they got places in Mexico where they train people and they send people over here. So, they've been making movies about all these different kinds of things. These cells, cells that have just been kind of like sitting here, just waiting for their time. But the thing is this, what's the trigger? What's the trigger that all of a sudden made Hezbollah be able to go into Israel and inflict the damage that they did? What's been the trigger that has allowed Iran and these other nations to stand up to America? What has been the trigger? The trigger was talked about. We talked about this in the Bible. How when the Most High's people are awakened, that's going to be the trigger for the end. That's going to be the trigger for these wars. And I did a video on that talking about how, when the Most High's people awaken, that's when all these other nations are just going to be going at it. Like, remember, like gladiators. They don't know why, but all of a sudden, they're going to be going at it. Now, you got to understand is that these other nations knew that America and Ish and all of them have been blessed while we were asleep. Why do you think the whole world has been waiting for us to awaken? The whole world has been like, they've been saying it quietly. You'll get a little video here, a little video there where they'll say, Israel, we need you guys to wake up. We need you back here. We need you guys to wake up. They say that all the time, right? We've all seen those videos, right? Well, why is it that they were waiting for us to awaken? What is it that they needed us to awaken for? Because that was the trigger. That was the sign. Once we awaken, once we were asleep, that means that they were in control. While we were asleep, that means that they were still in their blessing. That means these other nations, these top tier nations have been put on top. They were only allowed to be on top while we were asleep, right? So the key for the rest of the world, and that's why they've always been saying, we need you guys to awaken. We need you guys to wake up. Because they knew that once we've awakened, that means the Most High has turned his face back to his people. That means that he turned away from these other top tier nations. He's turned his face away from these Edomite nations. You see what I'm saying? So that was the trigger. That's why all of a sudden you had a week before that eclipse, about a couple weeks ago, was when everything started jumping off in Ish's land over there, right? All of a sudden they were able to coordinate some kind of attacks that they've never been able to do before. That's because we have been awakened. The Most High has, activated his people, and the whole world has been waiting for these times. You see what I'm saying? The Most High has the whole nation, the whole world has been waiting for us to awaken. You see what I'm saying? So let me show you guys a little something. I'm going to read a little something here real fast. But I'm not going to tell you who it's from, but we all know who this is from. Okay. Got to tell about how his death will start World War III. One of his soldiers asked, the day mankind finds out what I was trying to defend this nation from, then that's the day World War III will start. For on that day, mankind will learn that I was trying to save my nation from Freemasons, the Illuminati, and Ish. Okay? For if the Americans win the war, then they will conquer the world and forever be a slave to Ish. And they will try to conquer the Most High. Do you know who America has in its possession? No, the soldier says. The Americans has the jewels of the Most High. The Americans have stolen God's precious jewels. Okay? What do you mean, his precious jewels? The soldier asked. This guy says, America has stolen the Jews of the Most High, his jewelry. The Negroes, they are the true Hebrews. Now, we all know who said this. We don't need to, bring it up or whatever else. We all understand what's going on here. What do they always say? Oh, that's not been confirmed. That hasn't been confirmed. That's not true. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and say that's not true. It's kind of funny how a lot of the things that was in this little article here is coming to pass. Did not the America steal the true Israelites? Yes. Were we not asleep or blinded for a time? Yes. So once we've awakened and the whole world's already aware of this fact that America has stolen the jewelry of the Most High. You never should have put your hands on his people. You see what I'm saying? So the whole world knew that we were asleep because the Most High turned his face from us. Now that we are awakened, and we are not awakened by any help from any of the Gentiles. We have been awakened by the Holy Spirit. This is prophecy, us being awakened in the lands of our captivities. So this is the real prophecy. This is why all of a sudden this guy's on Tucker Carlson. Look it up. I think he talked to him yesterday or the weekend or this weekend. And you'll see it. If I can take a picture and put it up later on, I will. But you'll see that the guy was just breaking down like why America and Ish is in horrible trouble. Said that they will not be able, like our American Navy is not going to be as effective because they can't get close to Ish's land because the Iranians and the Russians have these hypersonic missiles that if they get in within range, they can take out these ships. So therefore now they're going to be forced to fly from super far distances to try to deliver their ordinances. And then they're going to have to try to land in Israel's land and then try to refuel there. But then when they go in there, there's going to be just a hail of rockets. You know what I'm saying? Like the huge guys hey man, this guy's in the know. He's not like some dude that just like, hey, America, we're the best. And, but without knowing anything. You see what I'm saying? Stretching thin all across the world. Now, this is all part of losing your blessing. Just like being able to, remember, they love to make it sound like what the conquistadors came in here with 500 soldiers and they were to take out like 5 million natives, right? Because they want to talk about how awesome they were, right? Same thing. Oh, they want to believe they can go in and send in, four Navy SEALs and just take out all of the people in Gaza, right? Like we're playing SOCOM on a PS2. You know what I'm saying? Like you just got your one team and they can go in there and just take out everybody. Now they're sending people in and they're getting shot up. Why do you think all of a sudden, like these people are like really pausing before they make any actions? Ish has been just building up all this weaponry before they go in to Gaza, right? But see, why is that? Hey man, before y'all wouldn't be waiting weeks and weeks and weeks to respond. You guys would be just going right in there, and doing everything else. But you already know your blessing is done. Just like the rest of the world knows that they were triggered by our awakening. Now the other nations know that they've lost their blessing because of our awakening. You see what I'm saying? They are in huge trouble. And that's all part of the prophecies. Like he said was going to happen. Once we awakened, that was going to be a huge trigger. You see what I'm saying? They're not trying to hurry up and move in. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to do all that. So, as you can tell, the trigger has been our awakening. Now look, we only got like 6 months before the next eclipse happens. Man, we are in for some serious fireworks. They didn't even go in because it was raining. They didn't want to go in because it was raining, huh? Whoa, my goodness. Some warships are empty, huh? Yeah, well, from what the guy was saying, that we don't have the amount of troops. We only had 450,000 troops. And if we already got a bunch of them already engaged in different theaters and everything else, there's not going to be enough troops to be moving in. They were talking about how, Israel, that Americans are going to probably have boots on the ground in Ish's land because they have American hostages. You see what I'm saying? But it's like, but hey, man, it's not 1930 no more. It's not 1940 no more. You know what I'm saying? We're not asleep. We're not in your churches, giving you our blessings, and we're not praying for you. I said that makes a huge difference. You see what I'm saying? And the real people of the Most High ain't going to be looking for help. We're not going to be, the real people of the Most High have never needed assistance from the other nations. So the fact that everyone is like, oh, we need the Americans to give us this, and we need the Americans to give us that, we need the Americans to help us with this, and we need the Americans to help us with that. That shows you then, like I said, when does that ever happen with our people? Who's ever shown up to support true Israel? Absolutely no one. Everyone has taken their part. Everyone has taken a piece of our blessing. You see what I'm saying? So now that we're coming to the end, because they said, they want to make it sound like, hey, well, why is all of a sudden the Ish needs all this support? That's what I want to know. The Most High's people have never needed the support of any other nation. All we've needed is to make sure that our power is with us. And that's exactly what's going on right now. The Most High is the one that's riling up the nations. The Most High is the one that's making these other nations say, these weak nations saying that I am strong. They're strong now because they know the Most High has activated them as well. You see what I'm saying? So if no one's ever helped us before, why all of a sudden do you think that Israel's going to need help now? This is going to be the biggest, rocky comeback ever. You see what I'm saying? Most High is going to make the other nations fight with each other. They're going to be going at it with each other. Like I talked about how they were going to be gladiators going at it. And they don't even know why, but they're just going to be just going at it because the Most High is going to make them fight now. And no, you're not going to be getting raptured away before all this happens. You see what I'm saying? You're going to be right here, just like in Egypt, when all these things were going on, and you're going to see it firsthand, however long we're all here. You know what I'm saying? But yes, the Most High is moving. Like I said, these eclipses are huge signs. There's always going to be, and just imagine what's going to be happening around April, around our Passover, around this 7th year in between eclipses. Look at Dylan. Yeah, that information right there, definitely. So we're gonna see what happens right now, but I'm gonna let you guys go right now. I gotta get busy taking care of some other stuff right now. But like I said, it's a beautiful time that we're living in. Thank the Most High, and just know that you are the trigger. You are what has now set in motion all of these different dominoes getting ready to fall. Because and that's just a sign that the Most High turned us, turned his face back to us and has awakened us. And now everything is going to go horribly wrong for the other nations, especially the ones that have touched the Most High's jewels, the ones that have stolen the Most High's jewels, the ones that have destroyed us and made no account of our labor. Now we are awakening once again, and the people are like, they know what's coming. That's why they're so slow to move, slow to react, because they know that their blessing is done. Shalom.